Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your OBC, your original Boruto Chief Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys a major breaking news update that you guys have been waiting for all month, because we now have the first set of spoilers from the upcoming Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga chapter, which, reminder, this month the chapter drops on the 17th instead of the 20th. So full spoilers are likely dropping early next week, since we already have the V-Jump magazine cover released as well. But with it being the weekend, any material from the magazine will be further delayed until Monday or Tuesday, more likely than not. So keep notifications turned on, because we are on spoiler watch, which means that any day now full spoilers will be here. So with that out the way, let's take a look at what we have released in terms of spoilers so far. And this time we got quite the doozy coming from the official Naruto website, where Kawaki fans, those stocks are going up, because we have Karma Seal version 1 Kawaki fighting against Jura, and this battle, it is heating up, which is to be expected given where the last chapter ended off, where Kawaki was barking at Boruto that he needed to use Karma, and that Boruto needed to squeeze those cheeks together to keep Momoshiki contained long enough for Kawaki to battle Jura. So we knew it was going to kick into high gear, but this was a welcome surprise. Version 1 Karma Seal Kawaki is throwing hands at Jura in what appears to be a battle that has already been intense, because we see the smoke clouds in the air indicating that this fight has been going on for a while now. The intensity is picking up, which means even though Kawaki has cut on the Karma and gotten his power buff, Jura appears to still be holding a potential edge. But Kawaki, based on what little we have and the fact we know he's got Isshiki's full attack power added to his body plus other enhancements, he does seem to have Jura a bit more on the ropes than Boruto did, which that is not to be seen as a knock on Boruto at all. Far from it. It just means that for right now, Kawaki might be a better matchup, and in a battle where fighting against Jura is going to require somebody using the Karma Seal and using it in a skilled manner, unless something changes, Boruto is on the sideline, because he doesn't quite right now fit the vibes of this fight for this moment in time, where his rival for the time being has to do some of the heavy lifting. And that's a character flaw that makes the character of Boruto Uzumaki totally relatable. I mean, we've all had that moment where fitting in meant reaching for something that we shouldn't, and with Boruto being a rogue ninja, he definitely knows a thing or two about that, trying to live up to the legacy of his father Naruto, walking a path that wasn't truly his, the stress that came from following omnipotence. Now he's on the run, a rogue ninja being hunted down, but he is in control as he hides in plain sight, as he's blending in at times. Kind of like how I stopped reaching for old habits and picked up Fume instead, which is the sponsor of today's video. It's not about quitting, it's about replacing. Fume is a flavor air device, no vapor, no nicotine or harmful chemicals. It's just clean, refreshing taste. And as somebody with a sweet tooth, you know my go-to is that black licorice. And it is way better than the alternative. And the best thing about this is that it has got a very sleek wooden build to it that is crafted so well that you would think it was made in a hidden ninja village as a part of a shinobi's gear. It's perfect for trying to stay focused while you're thinking about your next move, whether you're like Boruto and you're having to evade some Anbu Black Ops, or you're battling boredom, or you've got an oral fixation and you just have to keep something in your mouth to stay busy. 500,000 people are already using Fume as a part of their habit changing routine. Try it yourself by using my link in the description box and the pinned comment. And best of all, for a limited time, if you order the journey pack using my code Naruto Explain, you'll get a free Fume topper. It's a awesome accessory to level up your experience. I want you to think about it like going from, say, Sage Mode Naruto level to 6-path Sage Mode Naruto level. You're a Naruto fan, you know that is a night and day difference. So do not hesitate. Click that link in the description box or the pinned comment to try Fume today and use my promo code Naruto Explain. And if you order the journey pack, you will get a free Fume topper. And I say this with the strongest utmost recommendation, and I'm very proud to say thank you to Fume for sponsoring today's video, because without them it would not be possible. Now, that's not to say that Jura isn't without having a few tricks up his sleeve right now, because he's not out the fight right now entirely. He still appears to be standing on one leg, and he manages to dodge Kawaki's initial attack with his chakra staff, but not completely, because it looks as if Kawaki managed to connect on part of the attack, and then he expertly begins to switch up his attack pattern by using the pole and adjusting his grip and slamming it into the left side of Jura's lower torso, roughly around the kidney area. And that is huge for this reason, because it shows off some of Kawaki's high battle IQ here. In a world where we're used to seeing big explosions, literal mind-breaking jutsu, and other jutsu that can destroy people on a cellular level, sometimes it can be easier to overlook the simple yet effective tactics in battle, which is what's going on here. Kawaki hitting that lower torso around the kidney area with the staff, driving it into that particular section. It is painful, and if it's something we see him do more than once, either directly or indirectly targeting that area, it's a high IQ move, because kidney shots are painful in fights, and it's because of the science behind them. The kidneys are located in the space close to the spine between the T12 and the L3 vertebrae, and they're protected by the lower ribs. If you hit someone with a blow that's strong, the trauma it causes, it will slow you down over time. Think of it like a boxer who targets the body instead of going for that big knockout punch. Kind of like how Kurama told Naruto when he fought Isshiki. If that was a boxing fight, they weren't necessarily trying to get a knockout via a super hardcore punch that just laid the guy out. Instead, they're just trying to run up the scorecard and outlast in order to get a judge's decision, which in that case, it would have been Isshiki's lifespan being eaten away to the point that he could not recover. If Kawaki is taking a page out of Naruto's book, after Jura has already lost a leg, he could start the process of making Jura retreat. Now, I do think it goes without saying that this battle with Jura still has room to escalate even further, but I think there's more to Kawaki's calculation here. There are two major things that we have to take into account. The first one is that Kawaki right now is only using his basic version 1 state of coma. He's drawing out a lot of power, obviously, but he doesn't have the horned state that he gets when he goes into version 2, which that comes with a huge power boost. It's a pretty substantial power boost at that. When Jigen fought in version 1, Naruto and Sasuke, they were somewhat relative to him. Jigen was still clearly stronger, but you could see battling two people in the same tier as him was making the fight harder than he would have liked, despite being in control of the fight. But once he went into version 2 coma state, the rest, as they say, was history in the manga version. 2 hits left Sasuke seeing the ghost of Uchiha's past and the holy spirit of Hagoromo, and 3 hits left Naruto unable to maintain his chakra mode, and Kurama had to tell Naruto to shut up all the trash talk before this guy killed him. And then we learned that Jigen was playing around with them and he could have ended the fight sooner, by his own words. The same is true with Kawaki. That horned state for him, just like with Boruto, is a pretty nasty, noticeable bump in power. So why isn't he using it, you might be asking? I think there is one big reason for Kawaki, at least based on what we see, not using the horned state of the coma seal. The first is, I think that we can pretty much assume that if he can control, keyword if he can control it, as in go into it at will, I think he might be trying to measure how much of the coma seal he can release before Boruto's pushed over the line and Momoshiki hijacks, because Kawaki's not a dummy. I know we meme him a lot on the channel, but he's not stupid. Even though he told Boruto to contain Momoshiki, he's not foolish enough to fully discount Boruto's prior words that cutting on the coma is enough for Momoshiki to hijack his body right now. Jura is already a big of enough problem to deal with, but when you add in Momoshiki too, that leads to a much bigger problem, because he's fighting a battle on 2 fronts when you take that in consideration. It would be a battle with Jura, who wants to consume him, and then it will be a battle against Momoshiki controlling Boruto's body. And we know that between Momoshiki saying all kinds of racist stuff to Jura, which would make Boruto say the word trees with a hard R like he did seemed like something as innocent as Tobirama sitting at Nuchiya picnic and pretending he isn't mad he forgot the exploding tags to place underneath the picnic basket. Momoshiki would be talking his trash to Jura while smacking Kawaki with the books that Jura was reading before the fight began, and then he would tell Jura to go make him a chakra fruit by swallowing up Kawaki. It's calculated if that's what Kawaki's doing. I respect the decision to be better safe than sorry, especially for someone like Kawaki who has shown tendencies to be impulsive, especially in part 1. That shows growth. Now, that brings me to the next thing though. Jura, based on what we know so far, hasn't had to use full power yet. He's basically played around in every fight he's been in so far, and that playing around ended up getting a leg cut off when Boruto got the drop on him. Must be a byproduct of both the Isshiki essence that he's made from Isshiki, who has a tendency to play around with a point that he put cracks in Jigen's body by dragging out the fight with Naruto and Sasuke longer than needed, because by his words, it was a bad habit of his. And the code genetics, because we all know that the one-eyed opportunist king Sasuke seems to have cut Code's eye during the time skip, which probably led to Code grabbing a fume after the battle to reflect on what went wrong in that fight. Link in the description box. So it's for that reason, I don't think if you're a Kawaki fan, you can fully breathe safe just yet. Just as Kawaki still has another gear to go into, Jura has another gear as well. So I don't think that we're in a situation where this battle is ending in a decisive victory for Kawaki or Jura just yet. Could Jura turn around and knock the taiyaki out of Kawaki's mouth and then do what he said he was about to do to Boruto before Kawaki saved Boruto, which is destroy him in one attack? Absolutely. Could Kawaki somehow get assistance from Boruto and they take Jura to his limits? That's also possible. But I'm personally exercising a little caution here, only because this feels like it has a subversion of expectations being built into this fight. And while Boruto does not pull the rug out from underneath readers as much as a series like Chainsaw Man, it does from time to time take that method, and it feels like this is something that Kishimoto and Ikimoto have something planned here that we aren't fully paying attention to. So quick reminder, this is the official spoiler for the chapter, meaning Shueisha wants you to know this information. From here on out, we are officially on spoiler watch, likely starting on Monday, since spoilers do not typically drop on weekends due to how hard it is to get the magazine on the weekends in Japan. So depending on when we get spoilers, the chapter review may be out on the 17th or a couple of days after, depending on when we get the spoilers, and the fact that I like to wait until everyone's read the chapter before I drop my review. I'm not one of these channels that drops reviews before the official release, which I also want to give fair warning here, because I know there's a minority of viewers who hate all things spoilers. We're in that spoiler window officially starting Monday or Tuesday, so people are going to post spoilers, and some channels are going to post their review before the official. Best advice I can give you is be careful on social media, be careful on YouTube. I had to do that back when Naruto and Bleach were weekly mangas. I'm having to do that right now with Superman, and I'm subscribed to a lot of comic book channels, but I'm staying off of that YouTube account, my personal account, until I see the new Superman movie. Back in the day, I had to stay off of forums and Facebook, and when Google Plus communities were a thing, I had to stay off until I read the chapter. I had to stay off of YouTube because I knew that for Neverworld, Sawyer 7 Mage, King of Lightning, they were going to have those Naruto chapter reviews up, and I knew that Tekken 101 was going to have the Bleach chapter review up. Otherwise, I knew if I logged on, I was going to be rolling the dice on getting spoiled, because fans and creators are going to talk spoilers on those websites because most fans want to talk about stuff when it happens. This is merely the official spoiler, but the full spoilers are going to be coming a lot faster than your chance to grab your order of Fume by clicking my link in the description box and the pinned comment, which big thank you to Fume for sponsoring today's video, which the proceeds from this sponsorship are going to be going towards a really big video on the Hokage.